Hello, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Rise. Last time we defeated 5 monsters in one quest, and this time I will give you some tips for the arena. After recording some videos for the arena, I discovered that my advice was very bad. So I'll just keep it short right here and now without going into any footage. Straight up, Kuliaku is an easy monster. Target the tail or the body and only go for the head if you're feeling confident. If you're feeling confident. The Gunlance and the Longsword can use mind eye attacks to go through the rock that it holds, so make good use of it. The Hunting Horn can easily stun Kuliaku, leaving wide openings. The Switch Axe you can use Invincible Gambit in order to get... Well, you can spam Invincible Gambit and win quite easily. The Light Bowgun, you can shoot at the monster from a distance and always keep away in order to not get hit. Extremely straightforward. I don't think much needs to be said about that. Now Barot. For Barot, the tactic is very simple. Don't stay in front, stay a little bit to the side, and target its arms. If you can target the arm, you simply hit the leg or the tail, but always focus on the arm in order to deal good damage and not get your attacks bounced off. Next up is Lunar and Ragakuga. They are located in the Flood Forest and not in the arena quest, so you have plenty of time to regroup outside the area where they are found if you need to take a breather and sharpen your weapon or heal something without getting distracted. Of course, the hindrance of this quest is getting from monster to monster, but since the goal is to complete the quest, not get an S rank, you can simply, well, take your time going from monster to monster. Ragakuga is very fast and does a lot of attacks repeatedly, so you'll want to catch it after each combo. After doing a combo, Ragakuga leaves an opening for you to take advantage of. With Real Lunar, it's a bit different. This monster attacks without much of a startup or an end lag, so you will have to take that on your own account. Attack the monster and get away before it can attack at your own pace. Don't wait for it to show you signs that it will attack, simply get away before it does. Predictive fighting is very important against Ragakuga. Next up is Mariot, one of the worst fights in this entire game. I hate him. I don't know who designed Mariot, but he was a mistake. Anyways, he attacks constantly, he never lets up, he never leaves an opening, blah blah blah. And so how do you deal with him? You lose. But the other option is to simply employ extreme hit and run. Get in, hit, get out, get in, hit, get out. Simply predict where he will be and get there when he does and hit him and then get out. Extremely annoying, my least favorite fight. My second least favorite fight. Yeah, doesn't matter much. The Ice Blade doesn't matter much, but when he does the Ice Blade attacks, that's the best opening you will have since it leaves him wide open. You can break his arms in order to have him leave a little bit bigger openings. However, by the time you are done with that, he usually dies. Next up is Rajang. This is a good fight. Rajang is turn-based combat. You wait for him to do an attack. You get in, attack him, and then you get out. Then he does another attack. You get in, you hit him, you get out. That's how you handle Rajang. He leaves wide openings, he does strong attacks. He's the antithesis of Mariot in that he's fun. His fight is a lot more easy to learn. However, it is maybe harder, maybe. At last, and certainly least, there is the Arena Quest 6. The hard part of this quest is getting from monster to monster in order to get an S rank. However, that is not our focus. You will simply have to deal with each. You can simply deal with each monster individually. Take your time. 15 minutes is more than enough. Eventually, they will all die very quickly. More or less 5 minutes for each monster, depending on how good you are. But if you take 20 or 20 with each, that's fine as well. Well, this quest can be also taken as the perfect opportunity to learn each weapon. For Bolbidon, you will want to do predictive hunting as well. You want to see where he will move, and then you will attack where he will be, not where he is. If you hit him while he's rolling, he can fall to the side and it will give you an opening to attack. Usually he does 2 rolls and then he does a move. So predict where the second roll will be and you can attack him there and do that with it. For Basarios, he's extremely tough, as in your attacks will bounce off. Target the legs, and when he's enraged, target the glowing parts. Very straightforward. His attacks are very telegraphed, so you can dodge them as you see them coming. The problem is Basil Juice. It spreads a bunch of exploding skills all over the place, so you will have to mind your step a little bit. The best way to deal with Basil Juice is to target the legs. If you want to do big damage, you target the tail or the neck, but those are also the places where she uses her exploding skills, so be mindful of that. However, if you simply focus on the legs, you'll be fine. You won't take much damage, if any at all, and Basil Juice will die very quickly as well. Yeah, after you're done with that, regardless of your ranking, you will get this nice award right over here. Now then, let's move on to fishing, the fun part of this episode. For that, I will need a better outfit, a fishing outfit. And I am back, with the proper gear for fishing, the Vike armor, and of course, a giant fish for good luck. I wonder if I can fish that. Anyway, I searched up a list of all the fish in the game, and you can see it right there. It goes from armored bream until the wet fish, and well, I'll just check out every time I fish one.
Hello.
First up, let's start our fishing in the shrine ruins. Let's see how many we can get. And we're here. Now, the best way to find the fishing spots is quite simple. You go to materials 2 and show the fishing spots. Of course, I will also probably need these as well. Not the dung, rather the dung bombs. Where are they? I'll just make a few. And by crafting the dung bomb, which I already had. You can simply shoo away the large monsters if they ever interrupt you. So, let's go. And here we are. 2 fishing spots. The left one and the right one. Let's see what we can get from this place. In order to fish, you simply search for a place to throw the bait and wait for the fish to take it. When he does, I simply mash A and get the fish. That is a big combos tuna. And every time you pick a fish, you can find another one. I mean, another one takes its place. Let's see what this one is. The tiny red fish is a scatterfish. What about this thing
here?
Blue one?
Fishy, fishy.
One. Let's try that again.
No need for small fry.
But this time it is a medium red one. Crimson fish. See. That seems to be a special fish. No, that is a special fish which is probably exclusive to Shrine Ruins. This it gave me points instead of being part of my inventory. Ah, that's a sushi fish.
Gonna catch a big one.
Gonna be? I like this one. Platinum fish. Now, what else is there? With the thin bluish ones it's missing. And this one right here, this one. A wet fish. It is good to get pointless with
No need for small fry.
with the appearance of the fishes, since some of them can be very helpful mid-hunt. One of them is of course the wet fish, which can be used as a whetstone.
Gonna catch a big one.
Well, that was the case in older games. Not so much nowadays with included whetstones. I wonder what a combos tuna will taste like.
No need for small fry.
I really like spicy tuna. Come on. Please. Over here. No. I keep being denied. At least I'm getting better fish and whatnot.
Gonna catch a big one.
Yeah, it's good to have as many fishes as possible since they can be used as materials. Ah, that's a puff fish. Missing anything? Probably. Now let's see what the other side has to offer. If I had to guess, it is the exact same fish. Yes, they are.
Here, fishy, fishy.
Come on. Well, let's see what's up the waterfall. And here I am.
No need for small fry.
I think we already fished this large silver fish. Right? No, it was a great gastronom tuna, which gives you an item and some hunter points once you fish it.
Gonna catch a big one.
Ah,
No need for small fry.
it's kind of hard to tell which fish is which. A compass tuna.
Gonna catch a big one.
Of course, many of these fishes can be found. Ah, that's enough scarfish. As I was saying, many of these fishes can be found in other places. So the most important part is getting rare fishes exclusive to each area, which I am not sure which is which. You simply have to fish them all out by trial and error. Of course, I can simply look it up, but taking a relaxed time with a fishing minigame is also good.
No need for small fry.
That's sushi fish.
Here, fishy,
Used for making
fishy.
sushi. Come
No
on,
need for small
get
fry.
one. Big compass tuna.
Here, fishy, fishy.
I think that's enough fishing in the shrine ruins at the moment. Let's see what we can find in other places, and once we're done with the majority of the fish, we'll come back to finish it up if we have to. Next up, we're here in the Frozen Islands, and there is a very simple fishing spot near us. Right here, behind this rock. Let's see what we can fish. Ooh,
No need for small fry.
a swordfish. Let's see what it's called. Deer tuna.
Here, fishy, fishy.
And the water here is very clear as well, so we can tell which fish is which. tiny one is the wet fish. And the even tiny one is the scatterfish, if I remember correctly. Oh, the pupfish.
Gonna catch a big one.
Ah, the sushi fish. Every time I
Here,
hear the name
fishy.
sushi fish, I want to eat it. I bet it tastes really good. Oh, that's another sushi fish.
Gonna catch a big one.
Come here. A great wet fish. Hold up. Ah, here it is. It works as an even better whetstone. So for example, if this weapon was in red, it would probably be brought to blue instantly. Or more.
Here, fishy, fishy.
Another scatterfish.
Gonna catch a big one.
Well, since we're relaxing with some fishing, I guess it is time for a story. Which will be a good one. Don't really know. But what I do know is that I should probably head up to another fishing spot. Such as... right then and there. Corner of the world. And underground, I did not know that R11 had a fishing spot. I'll think up a story while we're heading there. Here we are. And we won't get interrupted in this place. That looks like a new fish. Let's see. Golden fry.
Here,
No.
fishy, fishy.
While thinking about this, I do know a good story to tell. That will be my first Monster Hunter. My first Monster Hunter was Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
No need for small fry.
It was very interesting. I was simply looking for possible video games to get for my Nintendo 3DS. And then I found that this game, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, was just released. And with a title such as Monster Hunter, how could I not pay attention to it? So I decided to look up some information on whether or not I should buy it. And I saw there were giant monsters being hunted with giant weapons, and it seemed interesting. So I decided to give it a go. Back in the day, video games were just $40, a little bit expensive, but not too much.
Gonna catch a big one.
So yeah, I got the game and gave it a try. I was completely lost with creating the settings and didn't know what was what. However, I simply I think I used the default
No need for
character
small fry.
and simply roll with it. I went ahead and did the first gathering missions until I faced my first foe, the Great Yagi.
Here, fishy fishy.
And boy was it very cool seeing how that monster, the first big monster I faced, had a cutscene with it, which also taught you the game mechanics, which is mounting monsters.
Gonna catch a
If you
big
hit
one.
monsters with an aerial attack in that game, they eventually will become mountable. And the cutscene for the Great Yagi simply put me in,
Here, fishy
well, put me
fishy.
mounting the Great Yagi in order to topple him and get some damage, which I thought was really cool. Back then I didn't know there was a mechanic introduced in that game, but it was really cool that such a mechanic was introduced in that way with the first monster. So I went ahead and I struggled hunting that Great Yagi since, well, the Sword and Shield, the first weapon they give you, did not make much sense to me at the time. I was simply flailing and seeing what I got.
No need for
Eventually,
small
however,
fry.
the Great Yagi fell, and I hunted my first big monster. That's when I realized, I should probably try other weapons. And so I found out the game had tutorials for other weapons, and attempted to play with them. I think I did a tutorial with all the Blade Master weapons, and none of the...
Gonna catch a big one.
Yes, all the Blade Master weapons and none of the ranged weapons, since they required a different armor than the one I had. And after trying all the weapons, I discovered that
No
the
need for
Charge
small
Blade
fry.
was the one I liked the most. And I did not know how to play that weapon. It was a learning experience by my own. Of course, the first thing I learned was simply
Here,
attacking
fishy
with the Charge
fishy.
Blade, charging my files, and then going into axe mode and unloading my files. Really standard stuff, nothing complicated. Another weapon that caught my attention but that I didn't use
No need for
was
small
the
fry.
switch axe, because it seemed really fun to switch between modes. The longsword and the greatsword did not make much sense to me. And the sword and shield, well,
Gonna catch a big one.
it was okay, but I wanted the big sword and shield. And after picking the Charge Blade, my journey began. Now let's head to the other spot. Alright. Ooh, that's a new fish.
No need for small fry.
Come on. What are you? No, that's a sushi fish. The other one.
Here, fishy
Come over
fishy.
Here we go. It's a king brocade fish. Now then,
Gonna catch a big one.
as I was saying, I picked the Charge Blade and began my journey. I started... escape. I started
Here,
hunting
fishy
the...
fishy.
That's probably a brocade fish, right? I started hunting tiny monsters, gathering materials, hunting large monsters, getting hit in the face constantly by large monsters,
No need for
and
small
I had
fry.
an easy time with monsters such as Nersila and I believe the Tsukabra. However, monsters such as Yi and Kutku gave me a little harder time since they are... wait, they
Here,
love
fishy,
spamming attacks.
fishy.
Eventually, I completed the low rank of the village quests and got access to high rank. And in that process, I never once used a mechanic of the charge blade called shield charge.
No need for small
No,
fry.
I discovered that one by accident. Quite simply, after blocking, yes, after blocking an attack from a Sinogre,
Gonna catch a big one.
I did the morph attack in order to block it, and I accidentally did a shield charge from that. I don't know how. I don't know if I was doing some... I don't know if I was simply mashing or whatever I was doing. However, my shield began shining red. And I was like, wait, what happened? Why is my shield shining red? Did something go wrong? Did I break my charge blade? Were Sinogre's attacks too strong that
Here,
it caused
fishy,
my
fishy.
charge blade to overheat? Those were my thoughts at the time. I didn't know what I was doing at all. So I simply ran away from Sinogre, stood to the side, and waited
No
for
need for
the
small
red to
fry.
pass. After the red passed away, I was like, great, no more overheating. Time to simply continue the hunt with that Sinogre.
Here, fishy, fishy.
Yeah, that was a very funny thing, especially because afterwards I googled up what does can't the charge blade overheat? What does a red shield in the charge blade mean or whatnot? And then I learned that was actually a charge blade mechanic that I was supposed to do. And it is very important and useful because it has a stronger shield and it deals stun
No
damage
need for
and
small
whatnot.
fry.
And well, that was my first time googling something about
Gonna catch a big one.
the Monster Hunter weapons. It was it was a very fun experience.
No need for small fry.
Over here, I think those are all the... yes, those are all the rare fish from the Frozen Islands. Now let's head up to another place. And here we are, in the sandy plains. Oh, that's a red.
Here, fishy, fishy.
No, it's a sushi fish, the other one. I think I haven't seen
Gonna
you.
catch a big one.
Here we go. That's a great flame fin. There we go.
No
Now,
need for small
continuing
fry.
the story. After learning how to properly use the charge blade, I a platinum fish. Nice.
Gonna
I
catch
went
a
on
big
ahead
one.
and well learned how to use the charge blade properly.
Here, fishy, fishy.
And I learned the difference between super amped elemental discharge and amped elemental discharge, written as eye and side
Gonna
respectively.
catch a big one.
And well, that was actually not my favorite move. I much prefer to simply spam the other charge blade moves. This one right here. Upswing and the loop. I like to call this the swinging move. Oops. And well, then after these moves were done, I simply ended it with a proper eye.
No need for small fry.
And yeah, that's how I learned how to use the charge blade in that game. However, I didn't get far in high rank. I remember that I simply
Here, fishy, fishy.
we're low rank, and then I tried the easy monsters again in high rank, and they were kicking my butt very hard with the amount of damage that they were dealing, and that I needed better armor in order to
No need for small fry.
take those attacks better. And so I did. I got myself better armor. I think I preferred using the Gravios armor.
Touchdown.
And I eventually life happened and I couldn't play that game anymore since I didn't have my 3DS. So that's how my first Monster Hunter game ended. Halfway to high rank. Which is a shame because that game has some very cool monsters.
Here, fishy,
And I would have
fishy.
loved to meet them. And of course, among those experiences, it is also one of the funniest moments I experienced in the entire Monster Hunter.
No need for
My
small
first
fry.
online experience. It was quite simple. I find out that in order to play online, you have to join a lobby. So I look up lobbies, then I find a lobby with hunters that have a high rank. I believe I was one, while the other hunters were
No need for small fry.
999, something like that. Then I was, okay, maybe they will help me with the quest I have to do. And lo and behold, they spoke in Japanese, so I had no idea what they were talking
Here,
about.
fishy, fishy.
But they posted a quest, so I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's see what happens. I might learn something. I joined the quest, and I did it. I didn't understand anything. However, it was an arena quest. And it was not just any arena quest.
Gonna catch
It
a
was
big one.
probably a hacked arena quest, or an event one or something. I don't know. The point is that all the hunters went straight up for the monster in the arena, while I stood there simply flailing around my weapon while they were destroying him. And the funniest thing is, it was not a regular monster. It was not something like, let's say, a Sinogre and a Ragakuga or whatever. No, no, no. It was a giant monster. It was a monster so big it could not fit in my
No need
screen.
for small fry.
I had no idea what I was hunting. I was simply flailing around my weapon against whatever the heck it was in front of me. Some wall of flesh on something. And the quest ended in like 1 minute or so. The hunters
Here, fishy,
had very
fishy.
effective weapons. The monster died quickly, and I got rewards way beyond my level. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I will play Monster Hunter
Catch a
Online
big
for the
one.
moment. Looking back on it, I think it was a Danamadur in an arena quest, maybe hacked, maybe not, I don't know.
No need for
But
small fry.
it's an unforgettable experience, that's for sure.
Here, fishy, fishy.
Yes, I think I'm done. At the moment, let's see what lies in the third fishing spot of the sandy plains. It should be over there.
Gonna catch a big one.
Gastronome tuna. And it gave me first aid medkits.
Here, fishy, fishy.
Wet fish.
Gonna catch a big one.
There doesn't seem to be many new fishes in the sandy plains. Yeah, I'll come back here if I have to.
Here, fishy, fishy.
I think it's best if we head to the flood forest right now. I bet there will be many unique fishes there. Great gastronome tuna. Good luck. No, that's a flame thing, right? Yes. Let's see what we find in the flood forest. And here we are in the flood forest. Nothing new here.
Here, fishy, fishy.
Yeah, I'll probably have to pick one different fishing spot. This seems to be a common one. Well, see you there. And here I am, in Area 5.
No need for small fry.
Hey, crimson fish.
Gonna catch a big one.
No. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate was
Here,
very
fishy,
fun,
fishy.
and it was unfortunate that I did not finish that game. However, my Monster Hunter journey did not end there. A few years later, I got a Nintendo Switch, and I find out that a game called Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for that game, for the Nintendo Switch, will be...
Gonna catch a big one.
What am I saying? Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate will be released for the Nintendo Switch. I was like, hey, Monster Hunter, I like that game, let me play it.
Here, fishy, fishy.
And so I bought the game, I picked the Charge Blade, and I began playing Monster Hunter again. And at the time I didn't know, but that game made several changes to the Charge Blade.
Gonna
One of
catch a
them
big
being
one.
removing the counter from Morph Guard. Which, well, I didn't mind much since as
No
an
need for
exchange,
small fry.
we got hunting styles. It was possible to get different hunting styles with each weapon.
Here, fishy, fishy.
And so
No need for small fry.
here we go.
Here,
And so,
fishy, fishy.
I found out more about what each hunting style did, and I decided to give Aleph style Charge Blade a try. And the
Gonna
more I
catch a
used
big
it,
one.
the more fun it became. Aleph Charge Blade is definitely my favorite Charge Blade in the entire game. It was extremely fun being able to parry attacks, being able to
Here,
dodge
fishy,
through him with
fishy.
the slower. Oh, hello. Perfect. That's not the fish I wanted to get. So I think it's done with that. That will cause some mechanic to leave the area. Very nice. Now back to fishing.
No need for small
I
fry.
gave Aleph Charge Blade a try, and it was an extremely fun weapon, by far my favorite. I wish I could play Charge Blade in this game, since it had everything. It had a sword, it had a shield, it had an axe mode for big damage. You can parry
Here,
attacks.
fishy, fishy.
Hello, Lunar. You could parry attacks. No. You can parry attacks in sword mode, which allows you to instantly charge your shield. And they allow you to easily change into a charge attack. In order to get the fire going. So it was a really fun mode, in my opinion, the best hunting style for the Charge Blade in that game. Others will say it's Valor or Striker, but I stand by Adept. And yeah, it was a very fun hunting style, and I used it all the way through the game for every monster. For some monsters, it was extremely easy. Other monsters gave me trouble. Ooh, a golden fish. That's a new one. But either way, I didn't need anything except for my Charge Blade. That is, until I eventually reached the end of the game, the final boss. And, well, I completed the game. So the
No
only
need for small fry.
I completed the main storyline of the game, both offline and online. So the only thing left for me to do was complete the rest of the game with something called the Deviant quests, which are hard quests that
Gonna
are
catch a
done
big
in
one.
in a progression. There are 15 for each deviant, and each one is higher than the one before. Well, no, there are not 15 for each deviant, but for most deviants there are 15
Here,
quests
fishy,
and a
fishy.
final version of the monster, which deals insane amount of damage and has a lot of health. As such,
Gonna catch a
for
big
the
one.
harder monsters, the one where the adept charge blade was not enough, I needed to use other weapons that were more fitting for the monster and made hunting for me easier.
Here, fishy, fishy.
And so I started learning other weapons, but which one to use? Well, thankfully, that was an easy decision given that I had done the arena quests.
No need for small
Now,
fry.
the arena quests force you to use other weapons other than the ones you are accustomed to using. So you are pretty much forced to learn how to use different weapons.
Gonna catch a big one.
And the most common weapon that I used in that mode was aerial dual blades, since I learned to use them in order to get S rank in that game. S rank arena
Here,
quests
fishy,
in that game.
fishy.
The other weapon that I more learned how to use was the light bow gun, and a little bit of the switch axe, but not a lot. So that's how I learned how to use the adept
No need for small fry.
charge blade, or was it striker? I think it was adept at dual blades. Yeah, I learned how to use the... No, it was the adept and the aerial dual blades. I learned how to use both in order to get... in order to have an easier time hunting the deviant monsters. And eventually, after being done with the dual blades, I began learning to use the light bow gun, and then the insect blade, then the hammer, then the sword and shield, and switch axe, and so on and so on. And so far the only... Here we are, the last fishing spot. And so far the only weapons that I have never used are the lance, the gun lance, the greatsword, and the hunting horn. However, I was forced to use the lance, the gun lance, the greatsword, and the hunting horn in this game.
Here, fishy,
So
fishy.
there is that. Needless to say, I believe my best weapons are the charge blade, the dual blades, and the light bow gun. And of course, I find them very fun to use.
Gonna catch a big one.
Ah. Well, let's head to the lava caverns. The lava caverns has a simple fishing spot right next to it. believe there is one. The other level, yes, right there between the area 11 and 7. 7, 11. Anyway. After completing the Deviant quest from that game,
Here,
I began to complete the other quests from from that game and all the other awards and achievements and whatnot. And there was a lot to do. A lot. That game is very long. I think I have played easily more than 1,000 hours in that game.
Gonna catch a big one.
And it is very, very fun. I will recommend it to absolutely anyone. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you're playing Monster Hunter Rise, give Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate a go. It's very fun and it feels very different from Monster Hunter Rise. Very, very different. Supreme Brocade Fish. Ah, that's new. I think that was it, right? That was the last fish I was missing. According to my list, it is. Let's see. Deft Hand Rod. Obtain an award. Yes, that was the last fish I needed. Yeah, those... now I remember. The other fish in that list that I made, so the other fish that I didn't mark were those that are obtained from the Argosy. Therefore I didn't need... There was no way for me to fish them. Okay. I was saying, those fish were the armored bream, the cute jelly, the god jelly, the spring night carp, and yeah, those. Now let's see the... There we go. Absolutely beautiful. The Deft Handcraft. For this award, I only need a Felice Crow. And for this award, I need to hunt 250 monsters more. But, well, that will be an arduous task that is closely related to these last 4 awards, which I will be covering on the next episode.
Hey there.
So, as a closing thought, I will leave you with this. After completing the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate game, that was extremely fun. The Monster Hunter Rise was announced, and I was looking forward to playing this game. I didn't play Monster Hunter World, but I have been enjoying Monster Hunter Rise so far. It has been a very fun game. And when I began playing it, I decided that, well, it will be fun to do a let's play of it, so here I am. Well then, with the second page of the awards almost done, next episode I will be tackling the third page. Until then, thank you for watching and have a nice day.